I want to quickly talk to you about the Torpago $1 million EIN only, no credit check, business credit card. And the good thing is, no personal guarantee is required, okay? So I want you to stick around until the end of today's conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you had to ask me, if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka, man, let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about Torpago. And this is a wonderful credit card. Actually, it's an EIN only, no credit check, business credit card, and no personal guarantee is required, okay? Let me first give you an overview of the card. So if you're thinking about Torpago, I want you to think about a newer player in the corporate credit card game. And the thing is, when you think about Torpago, I want you to think about Divi, Ramp, Stripe, and Brex. It's important because they all have the same sort of the same business model. In other words, they're helping you build business credit without checking your personal credit. This is important. No personal guarantee is required, okay? And Torpago actually reports to all business credit bureaus, okay? Not a problem. So if you get the Torpago credit card, your transactional history will be reported to Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Equifax, among others, SBFE, among others. And one thing I want to say here is that this company was actually founded in 2018. So this is kind of recent, by Brian Jackson, okay? But Brian Jackson actually, he has a great team around him. And what we love is that they're constantly innovating. They're constantly adding new benefits to the card. They're constantly trying to find ways to actually make the card more appealing. So in addition to the card, the Torpago card has a 1% cashback on all spending. This is really great. So in addition to that cashback, the card also partners with other brands to deliver savings to the card holders. So let's say if you use QuickBooks, if you use Plastic, if you use DoorDash, if you use Carta and pay for those services with a Torpago card, you can get added discounts from 2% up to 40%. So this is really good. Again, they are trying to go the Divi route or the Ramp route or the Brex route by giving you business benefits if you use the card, okay? So bottom line is you want to choose Torpago. You may want to choose Torpago if you are looking for a card with no personal guarantee or deposit, if you want higher limits, if you want, let's say, 24/7 support through phone and email, because what we love with the card is that each customer has a dedicated account representative who ensures their success with Torpago. So you kind of have this personalized support, and you also have physical cards and virtual cards. I will speak about those later on. Speaking about the features and speaking about virtual cards and physical cards, let's dig a little deeper here, folks. We are still talking about the Torpago's $1 million EIN only, no credit check, business credit card, no personal guarantee is required. So let's talk about the physical card. So you have one corporate card, but you have many benefits. So with Torpago, you actually have a 1% cashback on all transactions, okay? So we love the fact that the card is accepted. You are able to control your expenses. So you can actually pause or disable cards instantly. You can set permissions based on factors such as merchant, category, time of day, and dollar amount. You have real-time visibility, and you have automatic expenses. By the way, though, just in case you haven't understood, when we talk about Torpago credit card, you basically they are giving you a limit based on your financials. I will talk about that later on, but basically, you are required to repay the full amount each month. You don't have to carry balances. Okay, so this is how they are able to give you a card, because there's no APR and there's no charges, because you are required to repay the full balance every month. The card offers security, so you have a lot of security protocols that are followed when giving you this card. So here is everything you need to know about the physical cards. You can also have virtual cards with Torpago. So basically, you are able to get a card and use a card for online transactions, to add to your Google Wallet or your Apple Pay, for instance. Okay, you're able to actually understand, you're able to track expenses. Those are really important. So when we talk about virtual cards with Torpago, you have two types. You have single use. So these cards are good for one transaction, and you have recurring cards. So these cards are designed for recurrent online transactions, such as software subscriptions. Okay, and you can choose the amount, and these cards will automatically reset every month. And so we love the fact that with Torpago you have automatic expenses. You can automate your expense. You can get rid of tedious expense reports and manual reimbursement. So what we love is that every employee becomes empowered with the card. So each time a card is swept, the transaction is instantly added into Torpago, the dashboard, and you are able to appropriately categorize the transaction. So this is really good. So you're able to actually see Spain by department. You can see complex approvals. Okay, and as a user or as users with the card, you can actually request cards and increases automatically. I want to talk to you about integrations, folks. If you decide to go with this card, Torpago, you really want to think about some integrations that they have that are really good. Now, the thing is that right now the card is still still a work in progress. They do have some integrations. They could do more in our view, but here are the few integrations that they have. They have QuickBooks Online, they have Oracle NetSuite, Financial Force, and Acumatica. I want to talk to you about Acumatica and QuickBooks Online. And one thing I want to say here is that when we talk about integrations, we are talking about real-time accounting integrations. Okay, so you're able to customize. You can increase efficiency. You can save time. This is what it is. This is what you want to think about when you think about benefits of real-time integrations. Okay, and the bottom line is you want to automate your expense management process. That should be really the end goal here. In other words, you want to say goodbye to manual and time-consuming expense reports. And I don't care if you have a small business or a large business, you really want to get rid of those tedious expense reporting processes. So let's talk about QuickBooks Online integration. So you're able to actually automate your expenses with the Torpago integration for QuickBooks Online. So with Torpago, every transaction can be automatically synced into QuickBooks Online. So this is really good, okay? And so you're able to integrate your GL accounts, your classes, your departments, custom fields, and more. And everything happens in real time. I just want to specify that. Real-time sync, okay? You can also have a custom mapping. So every field in QuickBooks Online can be mapped to Torpago. This is really good. So you can sync with a click. You can add virtual cards. You can have data capture. And let's talk about Acumatica integration. So we have QuickBooks integration and we have Acumatica integration. The thing is that you can actually automate your expenses with the Torpago integration for Acumatica. So every transaction that you have can be automatically synced into Acumatica. This is really good. Again, here I'm talking about everything from GL accounts, branches, classes, departments, journal entries, custom fields, and more. Okay. So, and here you also have custom mapping. You can sync with a click. You have virtual cards. You have data capture. So overall, the integrations are pretty good when it comes to Torpago. Now let's talk about what you want to hear about. You want to hear eligibility, how to qualify, right? So how do you qualify for a Torpago corporate card? So this is one thing you need to understand is that if you are ready to try to obtain a Torpago corporate credit account, you first want to look over the qualification terms. First of all, only U.S. registered companies, I'm talking sole proprietors, LLPs, LLCs, S Corps, or C Corps can apply. So if your company is not organized, you will not be able to get a credit line. It's important. So if you are a sole proprietorship, make sure that you are organized. Make sure that you have an EIN. Okay, so you need an EIN and business checking accounts. So your account will be linked to the Torpago platform to verify business income. So at this point, Torpago wants to see your monthly business income, but they do not publicly state the amount needed to qualify. Okay, so one thing we really want to think about is that the higher the better, right? The higher the revenue, the better. So the thing is that make sure that before you apply, you have at least $10,000 in documented monthly revenue. I just want to specify that documented. You have to be able to prove the income, at least 10,000. Okay, and finally, you must not participate in what they call prohibited activities. So this is important. So, for instance, sale of Schedule 2 to 5 controlled substances without a pharmaceutical license, sale of Schedule 1 substances, the production, sale, or distribution of marijuana, guns, ammunition, or other weapons. Okay. They will not qualify you if you are into gambling, betting, lottery, sweepstakes, or games or chains. If you do MLM, cryptocurrency, counterfeit products, escort services. If you are into professional services, including law and consulting, they will not qualify you. So one thing I want to say, if you're interested in Torpago, it's just a lot better to call them up. Okay, and the thing here is that Torpago seems to be designed for tech startups, but many other small businesses can still qualify for an account. So that's why it's always better to call them. And the good thing is they're very responsive, very, very responsive. So you can actually go to the website, you can start a chat right from the website, and you can call anytime. They have a number, and it's 650-623-5429, 650-623-5429. So you can contact them directly, or you can email them at info@torpago.com or sales@torpago.com. I want to talk to you now about the evidence needed. Folks, we are still talking about the Torpago credit card with the potential limit of $1 million, okay, depending on your revenue. And so they want to see, so you will have a credit card application form. So they will ask basic questions about your business financials, the business, the industry you're in, okay, the legal structure of the business. If you want to add authorized users, you can actually indicate that information on the application form. And Torpago might want to see resumes of the founders. Remember, I was telling you that everything must be based in the United States. At this point, they're not offering the card to foreign registered companies. So they might want to see the resume of the founders. Okay, they might want to see a business plan. So they will want you to connect your business bank account to their system anyway. But they will also want to see. They might want to see, depending on the application form, they might want to see a business plan. So they're able to gauge the viability of the card and the viability of the applicants. They might want to see income tax returns, okay? Income tax returns at the business level. So we're speaking about 1065, 1120S, or 1120C. Your company's financial statements, okay? For instance, your balance sheet, income statements, cash flow, and bank statements. This is required if you are looking for large amounts. If Torpago is ready to apply to approve large amounts, they might ask you for more paperwork, more information, okay? And they might want to see, for instance, your accounts receivable, accounts payable, aging reports, and some legal documents. Legal documents, they really pay attention a lot to legal documents, especially, as I was telling you, there are some industries that Torpago is not into. They will disqualify you. But if you are in a legit industry, they might still ask you to provide business licenses and registrations that are required for you to conduct business. Okay, they might ask you for articles of incorporation. They might ask you for copies of contract you have with any third parties. They might ask you for franchise agreements. They might ask you for commercial leases if applicable. They might ask you for anything that helps you organize your documents in terms of the legal point of view of things. So the point is that Torpago will actually dig as much as possible to make sure that you are a legit business, that you make consistent revenue, and that you are not a big risk to them. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sort of Kiwi Show. We're also having a conversation about the Torpago credit card. Here is a $1 million credit card. That's the maximum limit. And the limit will depend on your revenue, okay? And one thing I want to say is that if you want to really boost your chances of being approved, you want to keep your documents in order. This is important, okay? You want to keep things transparent. You can actually save your documents on the cloud. You can actually save them in the office, in a closet. In a cabinet. You can actually save things on a USB key drive. It's all about being transparent. It's all about being being orderly. Okay, you have to be able to demonstrate sufficient cash flow. It's important because Torpago is paying attention to your revenue. They want to make sure you are generating enough cash flows to repay your balances. Remember, they do not allow you to carry a balance from one month to another. Okay, and so you have to also maintain good credit. Obviously, Torpago is not checking your personal credit score, but that doesn't mean that you have to actually just neglect that side of things. No, it's important to pay attention to your personal credit. And with Torpago, you want to decide the type of credit card you need. Obviously, Torpago only issues one type of card, but you need to find a way to optimize your usage. Okay, to find a way to do the right integrations, to find a way to actually get the 1% cash back that you deserve. Okay. And also think about gathering your documents. So when I talk about gathering your documents, have your business tax returns ready. Have your business bank statements ready. Have your business financial statements ready. Have your business legal documents ready. Okay. Have your business plan ready. The bottom line is you need to be ready to show how you can pay whatever balance you charge on the card back. It's important. And you need to understand that Torpago is not asking you for a personal guarantee. However, they need to have some assurances that you will be able to repay the money back. So it's important, okay? Now, number 7, I want to talk to you about alternatives, folks. We want to obviously Torpago is not the only player in the field, okay? So you really have to pay attention to the alternatives that you might consider. So when we talk about Torpago, we are talking about a corporate credit card, and corporate credit card for startups or established business. Okay, and so you have 4 players that you might want to consider if you're not interested in Torpago. You have Brex, Divi, Ramp, and Stripe. It's important. And the thing here is that, so when you think about those 4 players, you need to analyze them in terms of many criteria. Okay, and one thing I want to say here is that there is a difference between a corporate card and a traditional business credit card. So most major credit bureaus and financial institutions offer corporate programs for small businesses and large enterprises. And one thing I want to say here is that when we talk about the corporate cards, you usually get them from startups, from fintech companies. Okay, large banks and credit unions do not offer corporate credit cards, except Capital One and Fifth Third Commercial Card. And there are others, but those are the 2 that I can think of at the moment. And you have to think about the cash rewards. Most of the best corporate credit cards advertise based on their rewards because you can watch them pay off in real dollars. Okay, so those are really important. You have to think about. You also have to think about additional perks. So cashback rewards are among the most important perks when it comes to choosing a credit card, but they aren't the only one. You have others. Okay, you have the discounts you get with software. Okay, the discounts you have with ride shares, software you have with the rewards you get with traveling, and so on and so forth. You also need to think about the limits. Okay, the credit limits depends on your revenue. Whether you're talking about Brex, Divi, Ramp, or Stripe, the typical credit card depends on your revenue. It's important, and you have to think about expense management. What are the platforms that are better in terms of helping you monitor your expenses? And on that front, we believe that all those 4 are equal. In addition to Torpago, okay, you got to think about accounting integrations. And in this field, Actually, Brex is the best. Brex and Ramp are the best. Okay, because they actually offer QuickBooks desktop integration, online integration, Oracle NetSuite, and Xero. Okay, and the interest rate, none of them charges APRs. There are no fees, okay, because again, you are paying your balance in full every month. And all those cards are accepted anywhere. So it's important to pay attention to those things, and all the cards do not have any foreign transaction fee either. And the cards are easy to use. Fantastic. All right, folks, this is it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about Torpago credit card, and this is a card with a potential limit of $1 million. And I gave you an overview of the card. I spoke about the features, the integrations, the eligibility, the evidence needed, the pro tips, and the alternatives. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.